Hello everybody, this is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and this is going to be my review today for Ascendance of a Bookworm, episodes 10 to 12. Yeah, I don't think you can use magic in this world. Magic that we usually know anyway. But, so yeah, mine is gonna have to use those magic items if she's going to even have a chance at surviving. Oops, hang on. Oh, and I still got these. I got 10 of these still. If anybody wants one, they are $3 a piece. And let me know in a Discord message if you want, how many you want and where to send them. And I will give you my Venmo information so you guys can, give me the money for it. It's first come, first serve, obviously. So if somebody, for example, buys all 10 of them, I don't think anybody will, to be completely honest. Then I'll have to order more. Or I could do something where I set up like a merch store where I could put that saying on shirts. I could, on mugs, phone cases, stuff like that. I'd have to actually make the saying in Photoshop, but it would work. Anyway, Ascendance of a Bookworm episodes 10 and 12. They're working on making the hair scrub, the shampoo, the face scrubs, because they ended up messing up on making the oil for it. They were supposed to use like a rougher cloth instead of the smooth one, because the rougher one leaves bits of seed and fruit in it, which helps make it better. The ones that they got with the smooth rags, they can add stuff to it to make scrubs, scrub your face to make your face clean. And Benno tries to get the information from her, but she's obviously not budging unless he pays her for it, which makes sense. Pay him for information. And he offers her 2 gold coins for that information. However, she tries to get him to do 3. He agrees, and she gives him all the information about the scrubs and the shampoo and all that. And while they're making more paper, she ends up having another attack where, she glows and her eyes turn rainbowy. Thankfully, she's able to stop it, and Lutz is, obviously upset because he can't do anything to help with that. He can't do anything. None of them can. And later on, she's essentially worried because Frida had told her that it only does anything if you lose faith or you lose motivation. Like you get anxious, you lose motivation in what you're doing and all that. She wasn't. Is it possible it's just really high stressful stuff that will get to her? Because even if she is motivated, even if she's excited about making the paper and everything, it's still going to be stressful no matter if you're excited to do it or not. Especially for a frail body like hers. But yeah, later while they're sitting there talking and discussing, stuff, she has another attack, though this time it's worse than all the others, to where they have to take her to the Guildmaster and Frida and give her one of their magic items, or else she wouldn't have survived that. The item actually breaks because it took so much, and it got overloaded essentially. And Frida explains to her that this is only temporary. Sooner or later, she's going to need another one, and then another one, and then another one, and that's the only way people survive the devouring. And those items aren't cheap. And Frida essentially tells her that the only way you're going to even have a chance at surviving is if you essentially offer yourself up to work with a nobleman. And Frida ended up doing that for a nobleman, where essentially she is going to be his concubine once she becomes of age. Like, ew. Then again, it's either that or you die, essentially. I think I would probably choose that, especially if the nobleman ends up being nice. I think I could probably live with that. But yeah, essentially, Frida tells her it's either live your life chained to a nobleman or die surrounded by your family. So essentially, yeah, she's got a very big decision to make. If I were her, I would pick the chain to a nobleman thing, because even then, if I can make enough money, maybe I could get the guy to the nobleman in question to let me go and visit my family. Because even then, she might still get to, but we will see. Anyway, her family comes and visits her, and they seem to think that now she's cured, which obviously there is no cure to the devouring, as far as they know. And we find out that Benno had set up this in case, for the future, in case they needed this, but mine would have to handle payment. Now, the guy said that the payment was 3 small gold coins, which is what mine ended up getting from Benno, which works out. The funny thing is that apparently if she had not been able to pay, she would have had to come work for the Guildmaster and Frida. So, yeah. And apparently, the guy had told Benno that it was supposed to be 2 small gold coins. So, yeah. Although I don't know why she doesn't tell Benno what, where she came from, because, Lutz knows, and Lutz is okay with it. They can't do anything to change it, obviously. And Benno would keep that a secret, because then he can monopolize on all her products from Japan. But, yeah. And we find out that Benno is single, and the reason for this is because once he finally thought about settling down, the woman he had wanted to be with had died. So he hasn't apparently found anybody as good yet as her. Here's hoping he does find happiness at some point. He deserves it. Yay! Somebody's going to get my food finally. I was worried for a second. I was worried that the order was going to get canceled. Sorry. I got food for me and my nephews. Anyway, let's see. There's some drama between Lutz and his family, and that his mother doesn't understand why he doesn't want to become a craftsman like the rest of his family, and essentially Lutz wants something that is going to be his, and only his, because if he becomes a craftsman, his brothers are essentially gonna... That's not his. That's gonna be that's everybody's, essentially. He wants something that is going to be only his and that he gets to enjoy the benefits of. And his mother finally is okay with it for the moment. Later on, that pops up again. Only worse. Anyway, it gets to the point where mine is making more hair ornaments, and apparently it's like 2 small bronze coins, two medium bronze coins per hair ornament. And I can't remember how much that is, but that would be a lot, because apparently they were trying to make 10, they ended up making 20. And it comes to the point where she finally gets to have her baptism, and she has the same dress that Frida had, but they had to alter it. Not Frida. The same dress as Thule, but they had to alter it a little bit because she is still small, but she has grown a little bit apparently. And when they head inside, they hear the story of, the creation of the world and everything. And obviously Mine's excited because she sees it's written in a book. A very fancy looking book, I might add. And again, it's a nobleman, noblemans have books, so of course they're going to be fancy and full of jewels and everything. And apparently the way to pray to the gods is funny to Mine. And she starts laughing, and Lutz thinks that this is another where she's collapsed and everything, and they take her to another room. And while she's running around trying to get back to the prayer hall, she finds a library full of books that she cannot access because she's not a member of the staff. So she wants to become an apprentice priestess just because of the books. And they mistake her essentially for a noble child, a little rich girl essentially, and they tell her to tell her parents, and that if they give her any trouble, to come tell him, because obviously her parents are gonna put up a fight, especially with what we find out next episode. But that's next episode. And also, I forgot to mention this, but this is earlier before the baptism, but Mine has to break the news to her parents that what they did for her before was not a cure, it only staves off the inevitable, which is her dying. And she makes a decision that she wants to stay by her family, even knowing that she will die. So I don't know what would happen if she had actually did die, but obviously she doesn't. Anyway, I will see everybody next time.